Good morning everyone. Today I'll be speaking on serum IgE levels in keratoconus patients, a case control study. So as we all know, ocular allergy has been reported to be a very important risk factor for keratoconus. Eye rubbing and inflammation in these conditions are implicated in the pathogenesis. So basically the elevated serum IgE level in these allergic conditions triggers the release of inflammatory mediators, which further triggers an itch response resulting in the eye rubbing and further playing a role in the pathogenesis of keratoconus. Since atopy is often associated with raised levels of IgE, together with changes in other immunoglobulins, we considered it desirable to study the immunological profile of keratoconus patients. So our main aim was to assess the serum IgE levels in keratoconus patients, which we did by comparing it with a group of controls. And our secondary objective was to assess the IgE levels and correlate it with the severity of keratoconus. So ours was a case control study, which was done over a period of 2 years. We had two groups of patients. One was the cases of which had 31 patients of keratoconus patients, and the other group consisted of 31 patients who were the control group. So the cases were keratoconus cases were aged between 10 to 25 years, and they had evidence of keratoconus in them, while the controls were age matched with no evidence or family history of keratoconus. So we carried out the baseline investigations from the two groups, took blood samples from the patients and estimated IgE levels based on the chemiluminescence immunoassay technique. Then we assessed and compared the IgE levels in both the groups. Further, the cases of keratoconus were classified based on Amsler-Plumage, depending upon the severity of keratoconus, and IgE levels again in the different stages were compared. So this is the age distribution amongst our study group. So we saw that mean age of cases was around 17.9 plus minus 4.4 years. Then this is the mean serum IgE levels of the study group. As you can see, the cases had a significantly raised mean serum IgE level, which is almost 10-fold greater than that of the control. Then we saw the total serum IgE levels in the study group. So as we see over here in the chart, amongst cases, 94% of the cases had IgE levels above 200 international units per ml, while only 10% of the cases had raised IgE levels. Then we categorized our patients based on Amsler-Plumage classification, where we saw most of the patients presented in stage 1 and stage 2 of the disease. We also checked the mean serum IgE level in the different stages of keratoconus, and as we see, the mean IgE level was significantly raised in each of the stages of keratoconus. However, the scatter plot showing the correlation between serum IgE levels and stages showed that there was no correlation between the serum IgE level and stage of keratoconus per se. So there was no definitive pattern in which the change of mean of IgE was noted with the increasing stages of keratoconus in the cases group. We also assessed looked for the presence of allergy and atopy in these cases and controls, and we saw there was a positive history in about 32% of the cases, while only 13% of controls had a positive history of allergy or atopy. So in earlier studies by Amjad Rahi et al., they noticed that 53% of keratoconus patients had raised IgE levels compared to 6% among controls, while in a study by Ivan G. Kemp et al., they saw 14 out of 27 patients of keratoconus had elevated levels, while very few controls had. Similarly, in our study, we saw that 94% of KC patients had elevated levels compared to controls, which had only 10% of whom had raised levels. So our study basically confirmed a high degree of association between keratoconus and raised IgE levels. We also saw in studies by Ivan G. Kemp et al. And Amjad Rahi et al. That the mean IgE level in the cases group was significantly higher compared to that of controls. And our findings were also corresponding with the above studies. Also, in our study, we recorded the incidence amongst keratoconus patients of documented allergy, ocular allergy or systemic allergy was 32%, while in controls it was 13%. Similarly, in the other studies by Amjad Rahi et al., Harrison, RJ et al., and Mohammad Nadran et al., they saw an increased prevalence of allergic diseases amongst the keratoconus patients. So these findings just support the already existing association of allergy and atopy with keratoconus. Also, our study has seen that the difference in the serum mean serum IgE levels in different grades of keratoconus is significant. However, there was no pattern in the change of level of IgE with the increasing grades of keratoconus. This could be attributed to the confounding factors such as age of presentation of our patients, uneven distribution of patients in the different stages of keratoconus, and the variation in IgE levels with age. So IgE levels cannot be definitely correlated with the severity of disease as per the findings of our study. However, the limitations of our study remain the small sample size, the presence of confounding factors, the high cost of the test, and also our test is entirely based on a test, IgE testing, which is based on chemiluminescence immunoassay, which is subject to variation and interference. So in conclusion, I would like to say that high incidence of raised total serum IgE levels was seen in patients with keratoconus when compared to normals. And although serum IgE levels were markedly raised in all 4 stages of keratoconus, there was no definite correlation between serum IgE levels and severity of keratoconus. So our study basically highlights the possible role of IgE as an immunological marker for screening and early diagnosis of the disease and for reviewing of high-risk groups keratoconus. So I would like to give a take-home message that we recommend IgE testing in young patients who are at high risk for developing keratoconus and patients with allergic eye disease for screening and close monitoring for the development of keratoconus in future. These are my references. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Neha.
Thank you, ma'am.
Reason. Question, Dr. Somchila.
So Neha, so that now that you've detected that the serum IgE is elevated in your cohort,
yes, ma'am.
So based on your study, what different can you do for the patients in the management? You said it can help in management.
Ma'am, patients who are at high risk of developing and patients with allergic eye disease, we can closely monitor them and we can probably intervene earlier based on IgE levels. We can just use it as an add-on to find out those patients who are at increased risk and detect those patients earlier and prevent intervene early so that we don't get those patients coming to us at an advanced stage or when they've completely got keratoconus.
So anything in terms of, you said intervene earlier, what do you mean by that?
Ma'am, basically what I meant is only for patients who are at high risk for developing and patients with allergic eye disease, we can closely monitor and screen these patients for the development of keratoconus. So in such cases, we can probably intervene early and we can start patient on treatment. Like if the patient is having allergic eye disease, we can start him on treatment and keep close monitoring for the patient to prevent development of keratoconus.
Okay.